Hi YouTube, this is Bowen, a PC Tech. Instead of doing PC work today, we're doing motorized vehicles. In this case, we have a 2006 Lifan QT-15. It was received with a blown head. Well, not head, but the rocker head. And I guess they probably tightened the thing too tight and destroyed it. But I've replaced all that, and I've also picked up some aftermarket parts and everything. Currently still doing some work to it. Just replacing a head gasket because it leaks oil really bad, and once that's replaced, it should be all good to go. Alright, as you can see here, I have taken the gas tank off the bike. What I need to do first, you got to take this cover off here. Usually it's about 4 bolts, but I currently have this one. I'm just holding it because I want to save time. Come back here. And just pull this off, and this is your head. This is your rocker head right here. This right here was destroyed when I first acquired the bike. It was busted in 4 pieces and had to be replaced. After replacing that, it was just throw together and easy as that. Okay, so in order to take that off, of course, you're going to need a 10mm. 1 second. This is 10mm to the right on the side. It's metric, of course. Japanese, so what you do is you take your 10 here, just loosen them up. Don't loosen them all up in a side to side. You just take it diagonal. And that popped because that was tight. If it pops, it was a tight seal. Alright, I'll get back to you after I get it off. Okay, I've removed 4 bolts off the rocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, as you see. Okay, there's 2 types of valves on the rocker you have to keep aware about. There's the intake valve, and there is the exhaust valve right here. And they could be set at either 4 or 5 thousandths of an inch. That would give it the best starting. Anyway, slide this off of here, nice and easy. Okay, right here is your timing crank. This right here helps give the engine its compression and its exhaust ratio. And here's the valves, of course. They're tensioned with springs. I recommend don't pull those off because those are attached to the head. So all I got to do is just remove this and the carburetor, of course, and the rest of the covers, and I'll have the head off. Okay, you see the covers are off now. In order to remove this head, you got, let's see, 2 more bolts here, down here. And also to remove this, you have to remove these studs because some bikes have this annoying pipe here, as you see, in the way, and the cover will not slide off. I'll even demonstrate, as you see. I can't get it because it's hung up on this pipe. So after I remove these studs, I'll get back to you. Okay, as you see, all 4 studs are out. Remember, hold the chain when pulling the head off. It should just slip off easy because there's nothing really holding it anymore. So there you go, pop it off. This is the bottom. You see these right here are your valves. They go in and out. Okay, and you put this down here. And you see the pistons downwards. I don't really want it like that, so let me just quickly turn it upwards. Make sure the chain doesn't snag. I have a lot of compression still with the motor, even though there's no head on it. It's funny. I'll get back to that then. Anyway, just slide this head off here if we can. Oh, that's right. I got to remove the tensioner. That's very easy to do. Just take your 8mm. Just loosen it really. You don't really need to pull it off all the way. Just loosen it enough. Just so it's not actually compressing. After that, just do that. Wait for it to pull it right out. You may have to help it a little bit because the piston is holding it by the rings. There we go. So there's the head off. You see, these right here are just the alignments for the chain, timing chain. You got a metal gasket. The internal gasket on these is paper type, but the central one is metal. And that's about it. And I got to put a paper gasket here because previous owner did not put it in. You notice there's a little bit of scarring on here on the piston. That is what happens when you don't warm up your bike before taking off. Anyway, I'm gonna put the gasket in, clean up this mess, and we'll start putting it back together.
Snap. Alright, I'm Carlo. I'm taking over for Bowen at the moment. He's behind the camera right now. We've already installed the piston head onto the cylinder. When you put the piston into the cylinder wall, what you want to do is you want to lube it up a little bit. So when you're pushing it in there, you don't want to scratch the piston or the ring or the cylinder wall. And when putting the piston into the cylinder wall, what you want to do is the top ring, it will be loose. What you want to do is you want to squeeze the top ring close to the piston and try to slide it in there gently without using too much force. If you use too much force, the piston, the rings are very, very, very delicate. They'll break with any hard pressure. Okay, after you've done that, you've put your guide chains on, the guiders for the chain. Once they should slide right into place. After you've done that, next thing you want to do is you want to grab your valve head. I think it's called valve head at the moment. I can't think. Make sure you got carburetor side up. This is muffler side down. You should do short bolts. Make sure you got the spark plug on the right side. Once you've seen that, next you want to grab the gasket. Put the gasket on. It should take no genius to put this on.
It's upside down.
Yeah, I had it upside down. Let's try this way now. Next thing you want to do is you want to grab your... It should slide right in. Now we've installed the valve head. After the valve head's been installed, timing chain, make sure everything is loose, nothing is snagged anywhere, which in this case we're not. Next you want to grab your studs.
Cylinder studs.
Cylinder studs. All your studs are different sizes and different lengths. You gotta take your time and find out which one goes where. Don't put them in the wrong place, because then you'll have more of a headache trying to put the rockers on.
Which will also help you is sometimes the studs will not actually fit through the holes. If you notice that there's two different size holes and two large holes and two small holes. So depending on the size of the bolt, it should fit through. There you are, Bowen again, back on the engine. One more thing, forgot to mention, this cover does have to come off because this damn thing right here is a pain in the ass. Hate that thing right here holding it. But anyway, shit. Anyway, that happens to plastics. You can buy them online, they're cheap. But anyway, forgot to mention, as you see right here, I actually have it in the right spot, believe it or not. But as you see, there's like a T here. This right here needs to match up with this right above my nail. It needs to be just like that, because when this is right here, this right here is perfect right here. That means that it's in timing. So that means when you go to put your timing chain on over here, you got to make sure you have it lined up right with the shaft, which I'll have on there soon. Okay, got the timing camshaft on. Alright, next up we got to put the valves, which is on the casing. So these right here, one's outer, one's inner. Reason being is because the bolt slides in one way. Let me actually show you. See this gap? That's how the bolt has to slide in. Same with this one, but this one's actually more in, but it has the same thing. So what you do is you just take it, slide it in. Actually can be a little bit of a hassle at times. Got to give it a little bit of a tap just to get it in. There you go. Almost there. Gotta move the valve out of the way, and there you go. Almost.
Using a gas to carburetor.
It's running all by itself.
Look, it needs oil.
Huh?